back to the channel. My name is Josh, and today we are going to be installing the CA Tune front winch mount bumper on my 2024 Subaru Outback Wilderness. All right, so today I am at DNR Motors, and they are the ones that are going to be doing this install for me so I can make an appropriate installation video. If you guys have work that needs done on just about any vehicle, GX460, Subaru, whatever you want to do, lift, mods, overland stuff, I will leave the contact information for DNR Motors in the description so you can contact them. But today we are going to start working on the winch mount from CA Tuned. We do have a worn 5,500 pound winch that is going to be installed as well. And we will probably get into the bumper bar installation just because it's so easy. We can walk you through that at the very end. The links for the products will be in the description for you to purchase any of the stuff that we're doing here today. And before I forget, I would like to thank Adventure Rig Shop for sponsoring this video. That is the place where you can get all of the things and items and gear that you need for your Outback or Outback Wilderness. The link will be in the description for that as well. The guys are behind me taking off the bumper now, so I will get back there to kind of show you how that process goes, what clips need to be taken out, and we'll show you how to get this thing installed. All right, so you start removing 1, 2, 3, 4 clips from the top. I have 1, 2, 3 clips here that you have to remove to start disassembling and removing the bumper. Also a screw here, as well as a screw here that you need to undo in order to get this top piece free from the top of the vehicle. Underneath the car, you have 10 clips that you have to remove in order to free the plastic from the bumper. That way you can remove this whole front section of the car. Once you have all the clips removed, you kind of just start prying away at the bumper right here, and it'll start peeling itself off. Use a little bit of force, kind of jerk at it, and it'll come right off there. Is just removing this plastic piece from inside the bumper, because this is where the cover plate goes for the winch, and you just use a pry tool, kind of pry them up individually, and then you'll be able to remove that piece of plastic for when you put this back on. So there is a plastic piece right here that is held on by 5 10mm nuts. Once you take that off, you can remove this. That way you can start working on the install part. All right, so there are a couple of tabs. You can see one that's right there. J-rod is over at the other one. They just need to be cut off with a grinder right at the top in order to get the winch plate to fit in there. And Jared's going to go ahead and take those off and show you what that looks like. Fucking psycho. Now you should be able to get your winch mount test fit. We already have the winch attached, so we're going to go through and try to get this lined up to see where the last 2 brackets are going to go. So we test fit everything in there. You are going to have to remove the air dam in order to get to 2 bottom bracket bolts that are right there. And then there are these angles that connect to the side. We'll show you. You'll see these in your kit. Probably don't know where they go, but we will show you where they go and how to connect those in a moment once we get this off and get everything put back in. So there's a couple of clips in there that we kind of had to cut down a little bit, I guess, to get that off. I'll show you right there. Show that again, J-Rod. So yeah, to avoid removing multiple screws, we just took the clips off, and that solved the problem for us. You can see right there. So it's not a huge deal, but it's something that'll save you a lot of time and having to take something else off. So now that that is completely removed, we can get back to installing the winch plate. Just like that. So those where those brackets go. They're a little funky to figure out, but there are 2 spots that they attach, and they flush up against the bottom. So here's the brackets installed, and it connects to this bolt over here, and then this bottom side of the winch plate itself just to give it some additional stability. And then now that you have this drop down out of the way, you're able to reach the bolts that are underneath here in order to tighten everything up with that secondary bracket that's in the middle of the car. Bar, this is where it gets a little bit different if you don't. So now that this is being held on from the brackets on the bottom, you can remove these large bolts, put your bumper back on, and then you can put the bolts back through the bumper bar to sandwich everything together. Before you go and put everything back on, your bumper back on, you're going to want to put your air dam back in, connect all of the bolts that you took off to get it released, and then you can move on to putting the bumper back on.
I was like, it's like nothing. It's like nothing.
So there are a couple of plastic spots that rub the bottom of the winch that we just had to basically grind down with a pad, and they are right there. And that allows you to get this air dam back underneath the winch without any issues. And then once you get it into the hole, it should be able to snug right up.
5. That wire comes all the way up and always goes on this side. Very complicated practice. Just working hard. J-Rod, a little bit of luck, some skill. I don't know. It's either going or it's not.
So there's a little bit of a gap under here when you put the cover plate on. So we're putting some edge guard around it to kind of fill that gap. It's something you might need to do. It did not look that great. It wasn't like a perfect fitment. So we're going to throw this on to kind of fill that gap up and then try putting this cover plate in one more time. All right, so the deal is done. Finishing up the last few items. Nothing that you didn't see that's important to the winch mount, but we did add some Baja Design lights. Just miscellaneous things. We kind of got sidetracked, but that is all you need to know for the install of your winch. I use the Warn Axiom 5,500 pound synthetic line winch for this. So if it's something you want to do, I will put the link to that in the description as well. But that wraps up this install, and we are done here. DNR Motors, if you want to get some work done, give them a call. Link is in the description and all of their information as well. We'll see you on the next one.